Hello my loves, and welcome back to our back to school workout challenge. Today is day 2, focusing on stabilizing through our core and getting into those juicy little glutes. It's gonna be about 10 minutes. All you need is your mat. You're welcome to have ankle weights if you want them, but I don't. So let's get started. I want you to plant your hands onto the mat. You're gonna press your shoulders down and back. We're gonna take a quick cat-cow just to warm up through our spine. Go ahead and drop your belly down, lifting that chest up, let that tailbone rise. Take an exhale, pressing your shoulders away from you, round out that spine. Now drop your spine into a neutral position. Your eyes are gonna be looking a few inches in front of your hands. Let's brace this spine like you just got punched in the stomach. Core is braced nice and strong. Extend this right leg behind you. We're lifting into a leg lift. So we're squeezing out through the top of that right glute. That right toe is gonna tap all the way down to the floor and then squeeze up to the sky. I want you to keep those hips level, facing the floor. Right hip is gonna drop down to stay in line with your left hip. I want you squeezing up, really feeling the top of that glute start to switch on. Beautiful, take some deep inhales in through your nose, out through your mouth, keeping your spine long, keeping your neck neutral. There we go, 4, 3. Pulsing it up in 2, let's bring it up and pulse on 1. Keeping this foot out behind you, extended as high as you can go. Bring that right leg even higher. Squeeze out to that glute even more. Yes, you can. There we go. 4, 5, 4, 3. Keep those hips dropped down. 4, 2, and on 1, keep this right leg up. Extend your left arm, and we're curling into a bird dog. So on your inhale, I want you to bring it long. Exhale, round through your spine. Bring your elbow and your knee together, and then extend. So your goal here is to bring in that core. As you're bringing your knee and your elbow together, that core is starting to flex. And then when you extend your right leg behind you, try to make sure that you're not arching out through your back to try to get that left leg, try to get your right leg high. I just want you squeezing as high as you possibly can while keeping your hips level. So don't arch out through your back, but I want you to round through your spine on the exhale and keep it neutral on the inhale. There we go, 4, 2. We're pulsing it out and extending in 1. Here we go, let's pulse it out, bring it in. Find that pulse, find that little rhythm. 4, 3, here we go. 4, 2, dropping down into a plank on 1. Plant these hands on the ground, plant your knees on the ground. Lovely little forearms are coming to the mat. Let's step back into our plank, dropping our hips down. So watch as your shoulders, your hips, and your knees, and your heels. We're all in line here, okay? Everyone's in line, falling like little soldiers. So let's take a look at that core. I want you to make sure you're braced correctly. Make an S sound, pushing the air out against your teeth. Watch my core. So it's here when it's not engaged, and you make that S sound and it draws in. You find that beautiful, strong stability here. It's really gonna help you draw your belly button back to your spine. Go ahead and take your focus to your pelvic floor. You go, Miss Girl, what the I can't say that. What is your pelvic floor? If you've ever had to pee, you know what your pelvic floor is. Draw it in. I'm just talking you through the pain right now, but we're gonna go ahead and seesaw forward and back, pushing through your shoulders. Give yourself some love here. Drawing into that pelvic floor. Draw that belly button back into your spine. Squeeze it, flex it out. There you go. Make that S sound one more time for me. 4, 5. Deep breaths here. 4, 4. Good work. You can drop down to your knees if you need to. 4, 2, and holding it on 1. We're gonna drop side to side. Woo! This is getting nice and spicy, but I want you to make sure you're not popping up with your hips. I want you to keep them nice and level as you drop. We are just controlling through those obliques. 4, 3. Here we go. 4, 2. Drop it down on 1. Find a quick child's pose. Let's take a release here. Breathe in through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Push your shoulders down to the mat. Now we're coming up into a plank on our hands. So dropping out of those forearms, rising up into a full plank here. Again, dropping those hips down to be in a line. I want your shoulders, hips, and your ankles in a line here. Let's just press it out and hold it. I want you to tuck that tailbone under for me. Remain in a neutral spine, wrapping your ribs around you like a corset. Flex out those abs. There we go. Now you're extending your right leg, bringing your right nose to knee. So trying to keep your hips stable here. It's gonna be tempting to let those hips rise, but I really want you to squeeze those glutes down so that you keep yourself in a stable position. Your core is on lock. This right glute is squeezing up and curling in. Here we go, 4, 5. Breathe through it if you're starting to shake. Good, that's why we're here. 4, 4. Here it is, 4, 3. We're building up the strength. This endurance. 4, 2, get that right leg even higher. And on 1, can you hold it out here? I know this one hurts, but try to pulse it out. 4, 5. 4, stick with it. You've only got 3 more seconds. Yes, you can. 4, 2, release on 1. There we go. Amazing work. Take it back into a child's pose. Releasing through those shoulders. Now it's time to start on this left leg. Hands are gonna be directly underneath your shoulders. Tuck that tailbone under to give yourself a beautiful neutral spine with that core engaged. Left leg's extending and we're lifting up to the sky. So you're tapping that left toe down, keep your spine nice and long, and I want you to keep those hips shifted towards the ground, shining towards the floor like headlights. So your back should be so stable that if you were to balance a little glass of water, she wouldn't be going anywhere. Try to focus on the squeeze up through the top of your glutes, that little shelf glute we got going on up there. I want you to squeeze. See if you can feel like you're moving through honey here. Every movement is intentional. Every movement is on purpose with strength. There we go. Pausing at the top for a moment before lowering back down with control. Everything is slow and controlled. 4, 5. Here we go. Start to let that burn build. 4, 4. Amazing work. We're squeezing nice and tall. 4, 3. We've only got 2 more here before we pulse. And we're gonna pulse her out on 1. There it is. Little tiny pulses here, keeping those hips shifted down towards the ground. Check your hips for me here. Pull up to the top of that glute. Can you get higher? 4, 5. Stick with it. 4, 4. Squeezing even higher. 4, 3. 4, 2. Give it your all. And on 1, go ahead and drop down. You're gonna bring this right arm ahead of you. Left arm's gonna go behind you. Lift it up and curl it on in. So I want this core to be extending and your core to be contracting. So this is all through that core, those transverse abdominals, which is just a fancy word for the muscles that keep you stable. So the goal here is for you to develop a habit of working out, of exercise that you enjoy, and to find more strength and stability in your body. I want you to go throughout your day and be like, oh, I actually feel really good. I can do this. I feel stable, I feel in control. We are building a foundation here. 4, 3. Whew, here we go. Let that shoulder burn. I know she's supporting you. 4, 2. Bring it in and pulse on 1. 4, 5. 4, 3. Curling out through your spine. 4, 2. And on 1, go ahead and find a little child's pose. Pushing back. Releasing through those shoulders. Now we already did our plank here, so we're actually gonna pop up onto a hand plank, skipping that forearm plank, you're welcome. But now we gotta work into that left glute, tucking that tailbone again, rolling those ribs under, keeping a neutral spine, lifting up to that left leg. Let's bring it in, knee to nose, knee to chest, something like that. As long as that knee is getting forward, I don't care what you do. Well, I care a lot about what you do actually. Hips down, in line with your shoulders, squeezing up through that left glute. Keep that core engaged. Yes, you can. You can drop down to your knee if you need to and find this same engagement, but I want you to try to stick it up here. 4, 3. Beautiful work, you guys. 4, 2. And I think I miscounted. This is 3. Oh my goodness, I'm making you do 2 extra. Cry about it. 4, 2. And on 1, can you hold it here? 4, 5. 4, 4. Keep it strong. 4, 3. Make that S sound. 4, 2. And release on 1. Place it back into your lovely child's pose. We're gonna go ahead and find ourselves on this right forearm into a plank. You're welcome to either stay in a modified plank with that knee down on the ground, or, and I want each of you to try this, come up into a full plank if you can. Give yourself the opportunity to at least try it. Bring your left arm up, and we're wrapping under. Bringing it back up to the sky, wrap your left arm under, engaging to those obliques, letting your core stabilize. I want you to keep this rib cage popped up off the ground, pushing through your shoulder. 4, 5. Curling under, threading that left arm through as slow and stable as you can. 4, 4. Beautiful work. Dropping down to that right knee if you need to come to that modified side plank. 4, 3. This is number 2. Can you stick with me here for 1 more? I knew it. I knew it. Go ahead and plant it down. I want you to pop back up into this plank. Squeeze those glutes forward. Extend your left arm above your head. Your left leg is going to be lifting. Now I want you to bring your elbow and your knee to touch, and then extend 1 more time. So each motion, you are bringing your elbow and your knee together. You're keeping those glutes squeezed forward. Try not to overthink it, but as long as your glutes are squeezed, that core is squeezed, I want you to feel that you are all good. So that left oblique is working now, this side of your waist, and you're supporting with this right oblique to keep you popped up. 4, 3. Here we go. Keep those glutes squeezed forward. 4, 2. pushing through your shoulder, engaging through that oblique, and on one, go ahead and drop it down. Let's go ahead and flip it over onto this left side. You guys are almost done. We have a little bit different movement today. It's really fun to tap into more functional, more really deep, strong core strength here. So I want you to pop up into this side plank, extending that right arm. Let's wrap it under. I want you tapping into every part of your body right now. Everything has tension, pushing your feet through the ground. Making sure those glutes are squeezed forward, pushing up through that left shoulder to keep your left oblique engaged. Always an option to drop down onto your left knee to bring yourself into a modified side plank, but I want you rolling and threading that right arm underneath. Whoo, embrace that shake. 4, 3. Here she is, keep it squeezed forward. 4, 2, here we go. And on 1, take your time with this one, extend to the sky, go ahead and drop down. We're gonna bring this left leg to the ground, popping up now into our modified side plank, squeezing those hips forward. Right foot is extending and we're bringing elbow to knee. So keep that tension in that left oblique, keep the tension in your right glute as that right leg lifts, and then use all your breath to bring that right oblique in to connect your elbow and your knee. Beautiful. Every extension, make sure you're keeping it as long as you can and keeping this right leg far off the ground. So keeping space under your right foot away from the ground. And there we go, you guys. 4, 5. I know we're starting to burn here. 4, 4. Keep it nice and slow. Keep it steady. 4, 3. Are those glutes squeezed forward as much as they can be? Because I want you to squeeze them. 4, 2. And on 1. Go ahead and drop it down. Beautiful work, you guys. Take a stretch through these shoulders. They've done a lot for us today. Let's take a stretch through these glutes, placing your feet together. I want you to inhale your spine nice and long and take an exhale forward. We had a lot more planned for today, but that took longer than I expected. And I don't want you guys to burn yourselves out. So we're gonna keep these at close to 10-minute workouts. That must be part of your day that you can just pop in, feel good, and then go about the rest of your day. So take any stretches here that you need to, remaining a few more moments with me, reminding yourself that today is anything you want it to be. You have absolute control of your reality. Today, I want you to choose your thoughts, choosing thoughts that make you feel good, that make you feel empowered, and allow yourself to release any thoughts, any opinions, or any beliefs that do not serve you to your highest good. So take a deep inhale here, releasing anything that does not define your ideal version of yourself on your exhale as you fold forward. Go ahead and bring it back up into a seated position. I'm proud of you for showing up for day 2. You are incredible. You're building a habit, keeping that promise to yourself, and I will see your cute butt back on the mat for day 3.